Yeah. Pro Fan Sports Podcast. Let's get it. Pro fans, tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam. Sean on the mic, very flat too. Keep you updated, that's what we do. Pro fans, tune into the program. Pro fans, tune into the program. Pro fans, tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam.
All right,
Okay, sounds good.
All right, we are recording now.
Cool. All right, here we go, fellas.
All right. Yo, what it do, everybody? It's your boy, John Altidor, Pro Fan Sports Podcast, where the fans of the pros go back at you with another one, my boys, Vlad, Barry, and we got a special segment with our boy, Joe Murray. He's a radio host at 98.5, the Sports Hub in Boston, Mass. He's a co-host of Over and Under on 98.5, Just Sitting Here podcast on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube. Twitter at Joey, JoeyMurr, like the Rough Riders. What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
How's it going, man? Appreciate you guys having me.
Thank you for coming on, man.
I'm so excited to have Joe on just because I feel like Joe is one of the most fun hosts on the 98.5. Like when he's hosting, he talks about everything. I think I was listening a couple weekends ago. He was like, you know what? I just want some ribs today. Some barbecue. And I remember it was raining too, and I was like, man, you know what, Joe? I feel you. I just want to sit home and eat some barbecue today. I feel you.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, like, dude, I'll be honest with you guys. We all love sports, right?
Yeah, of course.
But at the same time, like, we got to be ourselves, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because I'm going to be honest with you guys. Like, in this business, there's a million podcasts in the world, right? There's a million dudes. It's just if you do something different, that's or you be yourself, man. That's when I first started, I was like, I knew so much about sport. Oh yeah, you know, this is going to be the 3-4 defense and watch the pick and roll, and nobody was real. I was just another dude, you know. And then once I started, like, hey, I'm a city kid. This is what we did in the hood. You know, we used to do firecrackers at home on 4th of July. You know, I'm going outside to use my air fryer instead of the grill. You know what I mean? Like, once you just start being yourself, man, and incorporating the sports, you just become likable. And hey, I've been lucky to do this 14 years, so I'm still working to be full time, but at least they pay me now, which is good.
Yeah. Right.
Man. You were just saying that you're a home guy, right? You're from Hyde Park, right? You grew up here.
Yeah,
I mean. And now you're on 98.5, the Sports Hub, man. So I think, you know, Vlad, Barry, and myself, you know, we definitely want to follow that kind of trajectory. Like, how'd you get yourself in this environment to be where you're at right now?
So, long story short, guys, I was an athlete, man. I was a big dude when I was a kid, but I could move, I could run. So, you know, I was a football, basketball, baseball player. I played BNBL basketball growing up. I played CYO. I went to Catholic school. But like I played ball, dude. I met so many people just being from the city, but doing traveling leagues, and was a really good football player. I mean, dude, I'm 6'3", you know, I was 6'3", 300 pounds when I played football in high school. So I was like the Joe Dozer back then, you know what I mean? And, but yeah, I played football, basketball, baseball, and I just, you know, one day, dude, it just stopped. Like all of a sudden, like, you know, I didn't play at the next level in college. I played all the city league stuff though. You know what I mean? Like, whether it's local softball, like everything we do now, right, that we try to do when we're weekend warriors, flag football,
right.
Stuff. Like I was, you know, Southie, dude, I was playing flag football up there every weekend, playing basketball, the Jackson Man, just to keep busy, you know. And
stay active.
One day, dude, my buddies were in a band, and they were like, oh, you know, like I wanted to play music, and I learned, like, you know how you guys are using all the software now and breaking it down or whatever? Well, I used to, like, do raps to like my buddies playing music, and then all of a sudden I was like, hey, I think I can do this, and so I started learning how to, like, you know, do production work. And you probably heard the ads before of Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Yep.
So I'm one of the lucky ones. I went there in 2007. You know, here we are, 14 years later. They don't exist anymore, but I got connected, man. If you guys watch UFC, John Annex, the play-by-play announcer, he basically was my teacher and said, do you want an internship in the morning? I was like, yeah. And I met this dude, Dave. Went over to Marina Bay in Quincy. They had a studio there. And I got on the air my first day. I had a wicked bad Boston accent. And I was like, yeah, I'm hot, yeah, hi, Pack, kid, yeah, but I worked on it, and, I got hired as a producer, and then gave me my own show. I knocked on doors for a while, guys, like, hey, will you sponsor my show? Because there's a cost in this business, man.
Of course.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, definitely.
Like you guys are doing this because you love it. Like, I still do it because I love it, but now I get paid to do it, Yeah. But yeah, that's how I got started. I worked for a station called 1510 The Zone. They were a competitor to WEEI at the time. Not real, but you know what I mean. They were another station. They lost the rights to the Celtics, and that's how they lost their money. But I got to start there. I learned everything. I met everybody you hear nowadays. I probably worked or interned for them at one point. But yeah, I worked at so many defunct radio stations. Like, I'm actually a dude who worked at small radio stations and then made my way up the ladder.
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome.
My Sports Hub story, though, is I was when the station was coming out, I was doing a show at Mark Bertrand.
The Beatles. Right.
It was called the Sports Blast. I was the host. He was my co-host. And I pitched it to the station. And they already took Beetle at it, which I didn't know. So, because Felger and Beetle had, from EEI days. And so they're like, yeah, Joe, we like your work, but just not right now, dude. I banged on that door for 4 years, 3 years, guys. And then one day they're like, hey, I need a guy. And boom, I got lucky, man. I'm going to be honest with you.
But it sounded like you were being consistent, though. You were consistent.
Right.
Oh, dude. No, what it was? I was a hustler.
Yeah.
Straight up.
It's more than luck, man.
Yeah, no, and I'll be honest with you, guys. I had a bad Boston accent. I didn't go to college. You know what I mean? I went to school, but I didn't graduate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, you're right, dude. Persistence, and now I tell everybody, dude, whatever you do in life, whatever job, whatever you do, the best ability is your availability.
Facts.
Dude, I'm not the greatest radio dude, but I'm available and I try to do a decent job. You know what I mean? And that's all it is. You don't have to be the best. You don't have, it's just, dude, sometimes you just do your job and you're available and you keep getting shifts and you just keep going,
Sounds like Tom Brady.
No. He was good. He just never got a shot.
And then once he got his opportunity, took full advantage of it and became the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's good to have on you, Jen. Thanks for sharing that story. That's a really cool and awesome and inspirational story. But for sure, that that definitely motivates me as well as I'm sure others that listen to this podcast. So appreciate you sharing.
If I give you guys advice, the Sports Hub's a great platform. All the guys, we all know each other, and it's a platform. But what you guys are doing is a platform too. So don't think, we just do you guys get together every week. You do this. You prep for it. You're getting guests. So this is your brand. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
This is the thing you're doing. So don't even though I was on a low level back in the day, people still knew who I was. You know what I mean? They're like, hey, that dude's hustling.
Right.
And it's the same thing with you guys,
No.
If you're doing this every week, this is your platform. You guys do your thing,
For sure.
I think it's funny.
That's right.
We were on our meeting call last night, and I was telling the guys how some people are like, oh, I see you guys are blowing up, man. I'm like, yeah, okay, man. We're working, dude. This is not easy.
Dude, I'll tell you guys a funny story. So I work weekends at the Sports Hub. It's the summer. People aren't recording shows and posting them to the website. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's I can get it. And I'm like, hey, can somebody help me? Nobody can. So I just say, hey, can you send me the shows? And I'm just sending them out now on my own because I got a platform. I got to use it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I wouldn't, it's just like you guys. You got to get on the Instagram. You got to get on the Twitter. Get on the TikToks. I'm not there yet.
We're on all of it.
But that's what I'm saying. When you're
on all the platforms,
yeah, just keep grinding, man. That's awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that, and I'll tweet out, hey, check these guys out, and
Appreciate
and that's
appreciate
how,
that, man.
That's how you
thanks
build.
for helping us out.
Like, dude, I get people coming, hey, will you come to my joint? And then retweet it on air. I'm like, hell yeah, you want to feed me? I'm in, you know?
That's awesome.
Oh, word. That's cool, man. That's what's up.
You talked about you know, how you get to work with Ted Johnson, man, who we all grew up watching, you know, because we're all Patriots fans, man. But you know, as far as like your radio career and, you know, being a producer and all that, what do you think is the most amazing thing, you know, this job has afforded you to do?
Oh, damn, that's a good. Well, dude, I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, 2013, the Red Sox won the World Series. And well, actually, I'll take a step back. My very first show ever on the radio, my first show, the Sports Blast with Joey Murray was my hood name. Like everyone, there's so many Joe Murrays in the area. You know what I mean? So that was my boys. Joey Murray, what's up? You know. My very first show ever was the Tuesday after the Patriots lost the undefeated season.
Oh my!
Oh man! Oh.
So my first show
must have been painful.
My show was on a Tuesday.
Oh.
So Monday was like the nobody's listening to the radio.
Right. Yeah.
So Tuesday was like
definitely not.
Because like if the Patriots lost the Super Bowl, you guys aren't listening. I don't listen the next day.
Hell no.
Oh my God!
Absolutely
I don't watch
not.
anything.
Exactly.
No, exactly.
Like
for
when
at least a week.
When the Celtics lost to the Lakers
after the Super Bowl.
Celtics lost to the Lakers in 2010, and I was like, I ain't doing this for a while, man. Like, you know, like,
yeah. Same here, man. I feel you.
It's kind of funny. That's actually, I never really thought about that. But yeah, my first show ever was that, and I'm like, man, I hope we get callers because I don't know who listens to this station.
How did that go,
dude? Actually, it went well. I mean, I crushed me being because I'll tell you another thing. You got to have a thought, whether you believe in it or not. You just got to have a thought.
Yeah.
My thought was, shit. Oh, sorry to swear. Whatever.
No.
My thought.
It's all good, man. No worries. You're good.
They let Adam Vinatieri go 2 years before this. They didn't want to sign him. So here it goes. You have a chance to kick a 47-yard field goal, and you don't believe in your rookie kicker, your first-year kicker, Steven Gostkowski. So they punted the ball away. The Giants get the ball back, and they win the game.
Yeah, right.
If that's Adam Vinatieri,
I've heard that point before too, and that's a valid point. Right? No, that's facts.
You know, Bill Belichick sending Adam Vinatieri out for a 47-yarder in a Super Bowl.
Oh hell yeah,
you know
absolutely,
I mean?
Absolutely.
So yeah, so that was my take because I was just like, and then Asante Samuel dropped the interception. Oh man, we're going way back there.
Oh yeah, I know, man. Woo.
And the sack.
I can't believe that.
But to answer the question though, dude, I did every single Patriots win a Super Bowl. Red Sox win a World Series. I've done them all, man. Literally, I've done them all. I've worked for all 4 sports teams in town. Not a lot, I didn't even.
Wow,
work
that's awesome.
Competitor. So like, so yeah, that's cool, man. And dude, I'm worried, man. I'm worried about the future of sports radio.
Me too.
And in New England because, dude, like, I don't know. The Bruins just lost. They went on this incredible 10-year run.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that's going to happen again.
Yeah.
Like the Celtics.
Right.
The Celtics need like a generational player to fix them, and I'm not
transformative. Yeah,
I'm not crapping on Tatum. I don't know if he's the guy. I know he's good. I know that a Batman, Robin, and somebody else. He's at least Robin right now. Can he be Batman? I don't know. Can he be? I don't know. So that's what I mean. I worry. And then the Red Sox, 1 year they're good, 1 year they're bad, and then there's the cheating stuff, right? So it's like all we have is the Patriots. And the thing is that
pretty much.
But if they're bad, at least we watch football every single week. You know what I mean?
Oh, you
so
have
it's like,
facts. Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
So that's why I'm trying to mix it up a little bit. Like, I'll talk about what's going on in the world and like, you know, these TV shows because at some point you want to listen to entertainment. The sports stuff, you might be like, you know what, like me, I'm going to the Cape in 2 weeks. I'm going to tune out. If the Red Sox aren't good, I'm not going to watch.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
But I mean, and to add insult to injury, I mean, we had a 20-year greatness with the Patriots, and now we don't know what's coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, well, I'm spoiled. I'm sorry. I'm spoiled. You know, I've been to every big Patriots game there's ever been. We've all probably been to games. Like, dude, we're flat out. We're spoiled. Like, imagine the Knicks fans or like, you know, like just look at the NBA final. Imagine the Clippers. You know, like it's like, can the Clippers finally win something? You know?
Yeah.
For real.
By the way, I got a small little bet on the Clippers to make it to the finals right now.
Oh, wow.
Really?
They did win last night.
Wow.
Let me just give you a take on this. The NBA, right, is about ratings. They're all about ratings. Well, the best ratings is LA versus Brooklyn. You give me Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and Rondo, who's really not playing, but like, you know, you put those star faces with, you know, the big three. Now we're talking. We got Brooklyn, we got LA.
I'm watching that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Must see TV right there.
I would be surprised if the NBA is like thinking like me, like, yo, sending the referees and the Scott Fosters to
the Tony brothers. Yeah.
There you go.
That's a good point. That's funny, but that's true though. You are not lying.
You talked about the Bruins, man, and I mean we all saw it. It just came down to a screeching halt there against the Islanders. I mean, a lot of people are, you know, blaming Tuukka Rask and everything, but the defense, you know, that really wasn't there, man. What are your thoughts on the Bruins and really what happened there?
So it's funny. We did the show this morning, and I like working with former athletes because they kind of see things that we don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so yeah, dude. If we wrapped it up with the Bruins, they didn't build enough on defense. Like, they let Chara go. I'm not saying he would have fixed anything, but they just didn't replace anyone. They didn't replace Chara. They lost Torrey Krug and Zdeno Chara. Like, they just never replaced them. Do you know what I'm saying? So is that on Don Sweeney a little bit? Yeah. But Sweeney made some incredible trades. You know, like I mean, let's face it, Taylor Hall was really good. And he's probably a part of their future, you know? So they did everything right, but how many years in a row can we say the goaltender didn't get you to where you got to be? And I don't want to crap on Rask. He played hard, but we talk about legacies in this town, right? Like, we know all the legends. We know the legends. Gronk, David Ortiz, you know, from nowadays. You know what I mean? We know you know, but that's what I'm saying. We're not gonna say Tuukka. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
yeah,
no.
He's not on that level, no.
But
you say Tim Thomas way
Tim
before
Thomas.
you say.
But that's what I'm saying.
Right.
And dude, I don't even know. Tim Thomas had an amazing 1-year run, and I got one hot take for you. Ready? You might want to mark this one down.
Okay, let's get it.
So in what year did the Bruins win?
2011. Yeah.
So in 2010, the Bruins were up 3-0 against Philadelphia, and they lost. One of the first teams ever to lose, up 3-0 to the Flyers. Do you know what happened that year? Tim Thomas had a torn labrum in his hip. Came back the next year and won the Stanley Cup. Tuukka Rask because I told him.
I was just gonna say, is he really going there? I was just thinking that. Oh snap! Like, is he trying to say the Bruins are gonna win the cup the next year? Oh man! What a coincidence!
I just wanted to bring it up. I've said it. That's it. You guys can do whatever you want with it.
Is this the first show you sit it on?
Yeah.
Yes. We're gonna have to make a video clip of that and put it on our social media pages.
And we're gonna make sure that when the Bruins win next year, we put that up.
I'm gonna tell you, I probably
absolutely.
I like to bet. I probably would not bet on that. So I just. But
talk about a hot take right there.
But one last thing about that. So Ted Johnson mentioned this morning, so I'll give him credit for this one. Did you notice that every Bruins player said they wanted to stay? Like, every one of them said they wanted to stay. Zdeno Chara even was like, oh, I still want to play. Like, Torrey Krug wanted to stay here. Milan Lucic never wanted to leave. So, but it's just funny. Every single one of them was like, I want to stay in Boston. And I look at that two ways. Great, right? Great city, great town, great. Just be like, you know, devil's advocate for a second. Maybe these guys have their jobs in place and job security a little too much. You know what I mean? Like, maybe they don't play the younger players when maybe they should. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe these dudes just sign here for that job security and they get paid.
Yeah.
You know, like guys, remember Claude wouldn't play younger players, and I'm not saying
Yeah,
Cassidy
he wouldn't, not at all.
but like now I just look at it like, maybe these guys get a little complacent, and maybe that's why around cup time, if they lose, it's like we were there, we needed this, or took, you know, it's. I think it's time for a change. Is all I'm saying.
Not to jump team, but that's exactly how I felt about Danny Ainge.
I knew that's what you were gonna say.
Well, you know what, so guys, you know what? We'll transition because I like this. Let's face it, man. I like Danny Ainge as the GM of the Celtics. If he had a chance to get better, he did. Listen, trading Jeff Green didn't work. For the Kendrick Perkins deal, it didn't work out.
Terrible.
But you get
the worst trade that he's made.
But his mindset though was, let's move on from the big guy that's not going to re-sign. Our bench really needs help. Do you know what I'm saying? He tried to get a dude that was tearing it up, but he just didn't fit in. Look at Jeff Green now. Have you noticed every team he's on? Like, dude, game 7 against the Celtics in the Cavs series.
Lit us up.
Right?
Yeah.
Was he on the Houston Rockets last year? He was like, dude, with the Nets, I know he's hurt right now, but he was great during the regular season for them. So I'm just saying, maybe he was a late bloomer, but I'm just saying at the time it didn't work out. But Danny Ainge, though, you know, tough on Kemba Walker if he thinks that he's upset that he tried to get traded. Dude, if it's a way to get out of that contract and make the team better, I'm in. And you know what? People are upset about, like, Isaiah Thomas. Anthony Davis's father came out and said they did him wrong. That went around the whole league, man. Everybody read that. Man, how could that MVP dude played his ass off? They hurt his hip and they don't re-sign him to make him bring him back. They trade his ass. And don't get me wrong, I would trade for Kyrie Irving 10 times out of 10 times. Like,
no question.
It didn't work out, guys. Danny Ainge did. Think about this in the NBA, which is a crazy sport. He wound up getting Kyrie Irving, Gordon Hayward, what's his name? Horford?
Horford, yeah.
And then he gets Kemba Walker. All 4 were all-stars, and he drafts Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
He did all that.
Right.
Win.
I think when you put it that way, it's that he definitely did his due diligence, and he definitely put in the work, and he definitely was. I mean, we all love Danny. Danny's a really smart GM, and we know that people always talk about how smart he is and how Danny can make you buy, you know, a walk. You know what I mean? Like,
his mother.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
There you go.
But I think
You're right.
I think what I grew tired of this Celtics legacy that they've been talking about that hasn't existed for 30 years.
Yeah.
And
But how old are you guys?
I'm 30.
Okay, so I'm 30.
I've only seen one championship my whole life.
Yeah,
you know
that's what I'm saying. The Larry Bird Big Three. You just remember watching the highlights.
Exactly.
You know like to you, the Celtics are Antoine Walker, right? And you know, Paul Pierce.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
That was the Celtics. Like I got a little taste of it, but for me, like when I saw Michael Jordan play, I was like, this guy's amazing. You know what I mean? Like you know when and it's funny. You guys grew up in the city. Do you notice that more people in the city growing up liked Allen Iverson more than anybody else? When I was on the streets, everyone wanted to cross over like Allen Iverson. You know?
Absolutely.
But there was only a few dudes that were like Paul Pierce. You know what I mean? It was kind of like we didn't, even though Paul Pierce was the man here at times. I don't know. I felt like everybody in town was always looked like Shaq or like, you know, Dwayne Wade, Kobe. Right? I mean,
he played in the era. He played in the Kobe era. It's hard to compete with that. No matter where you are, I feel. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And we live in Boston, where we're supposed to hate LA, but Kobe was just once in a generation player. You know what I mean?
Kobe to me was the best shot maker I've ever seen. And what I mean by shot maker is, dude, he's gonna post you up, he's gonna square you up, he's gonna go to the hole. He's going to shoot in your face. I mean,
no matter where he is.
So he's turning around fadeaways, man. Unstoppable.
The step back, like.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah.
He could make a shot however he wanted to.
I agree with you, but I think watching KD now, I've never seen anything like that.
Have you ever saw a guy that big shoot though? You know
Never.
what I mean? Like never.
He moves like a gazelle, and he's just amazing. I've never seen that before.
I saw a stat about KD. Actually, it said 90% of the threes he made were contested.
Wow.
Like, how do you
That's
deal with
crazy.
it?
Yeah.
That's insane.
How do you deal with that? Like,
but it's funny. You're right, but it's funny. Like you mentioned the recap of the Bruins or whatever. The Bruins. We asked this question today, and I guess I'll ask you guys: who's closer to a championship right now?
I heard this question on the show.
But who do you think's more closer, Bruins or Celtics right now?
I mean, to me, it was the Bruins. I think it might still be the Bruins.
Yeah, and I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer. All I'm going to say is the NBA has been predictable, right?
Yeah.
You get
Right.
the NHL hasn't. So
That's
I would
true.
say it's probably the Bruins, but one player could change it all for the Celtics, man.
It has to be a great player, and we cannot trade everybody else.
Yep. Yeah, and I don't know how they're going to do that, bro.
I'd say Bruins too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you hit something on the nail there. That a lot of guys that come here, they know they kind of like have job security, man. And I feel like we see this a lot in a lot of our sports, like where we're really reluctant to trade anybody for anything. You know, like
Celtics fans? Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
You can't trade Carson Edwards? Are you kidding me? Oh, my God. No, Marcus Smart. I'm sorry. There's like 50 better players than Marcus Smart in the league. Like, you know, like
Facts.
literally. Like, I like the guy. He's a good defender. Whatever. Let him go. If he went to the Western Conference, like on the Nuggets, he'd be like this little bench, like crazy. Everyone would love him. You know what I mean? But like, give us Michael Porter or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, definitely. I'll take Michael Porter in a heartbeat.
I'll wrap up one last thing about Ainge. Dude, I think his legacy is going to be, he can form a team and win. But in the end, he never traded – basically, it was really Jaylen Brown. He never traded Jaylen Brown for Kawhi Leonard, for Anthony Davis, for Kevin Love, for anybody. Because, like, in the end, he could have made the trade. But the problem was the guys weren't going to sign long term.
yeah.
So imagine giving up Jason. I mean, I don't know. Maybe this is something we have to think about 5 years down the line. But imagine if you got 1 year of Kevin Durant, of Anthony Davis. He signed. You got to the playoffs. You lost in the conference final, and then boom, Jaylen Brown's now a star on the Hornets or something. Like,
Yeah,
I would be upset.
that'd be a tough swallow.
I would be frustrating. Right.
But
you shot.
To contradict that, the Raptors did it and they got a championship out of it. So how would we feel then?
Well, that lucky bounce.
We'll see. Hey, Drake led the way, man. That's all I'll say. Hey, I'm a Drake dude.
They finally broke the Drake curse that year. They finally broke it.
I love Drake. Maybe you guys can get on me. I don't know what it is.
I like Drake too, man.
I like Drake's music.
Man. Yeah, me too. See, like, I don't know, man. I get crap for it. All the guys in the state, I'm like, you guys see, know what the problem with music? Can we do a music thing quickly?
Sure.
Go ahead. Absolutely.
The problem with music is, right, is everyone, especially the white guys, we all love crap from 30 years ago still. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, I love Money in the Grave. I sweat that song.
That song bumps.
I come back from commercial breaks. I'm playing, Blowing Money Fast from Rick Ross, and like I'm like, this thing's still bumping to these days. But you may notice when you go to everything's from 30, 40 years ago. Crazy Train. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can we get something that's like, a banger that like we can still play nowadays that like people play? Like, I don't know. That's why when I like Drake and people are like, well, what do you? Oh, I hate Drake. No, you just see Drake on TV and crap on him.
Nah,
like,
Drake.
Right.
Drake is artist of the decade. Like, he's been on fire forever, and I can't wait for the album coming out. I don't know when it's coming out, but I can't wait for that.
And don't get me wrong, other rappers and we can do that all day long. But I like Drake now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I like Drake more than Post Malone, but whatever. You know what I mean? That's just it's It's a take. Whatever. All right. Whatever.
Dude, the guy has sold over 50 billion streams for a reason, man.
And I'll tell you something, dude.
Facts.
When DMX passed away, you mentioned Rough Riders. I actually went to a Rough Riders.
Double lie.
They came up here one day. But
Oh wow, that must have been pretty sweet.
Dude, yeah, but I was looking for DMX and Eve. I'm like, where is it? They didn't show up. But it was the other Rough Riders. But what I was gonna say is when DMX passed, I couldn't believe like what he actually did, and maybe the time was low, so I don't want to disrespect the guy and dance on his grave. But holy crap, did DMX have a career, man? Like he won platinum record stuff. And dude, don't get me wrong. I know I'm a little older than you guys, but there was this time from like 01 to I don't know, maybe 2010, where I wasn't into the music, man. Like the Soulja Boy and all that stuff, I was out.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was wild. That was trash.
But we hear it at the club. We go out to the, like I was a Blarney store. You guys go to the Blarney store?
Yeah, I've been to the Blarney store.
There you go. You know what I mean? Like I'd hear this and I'd be like, all right, to the window, to the wall, great.
Then you were vibing to that song when you heard that?
I was. But come on, like nowadays, I'm like, man, this is the stuff we like. We'll do music another day. I promise, guys.
I appreciate you coming on, man. This was fun.
Yes,
this was awesome.
Yeah, oh, this was great, man. We'll definitely have to have you on again, for sure.
Yeah, listen, music, this stuff's all about shooting the breeze, right? Hanging out, talking to the dudes, you know what I mean? So I'll leave you guys with one last thing, though. I want Cam Newton. I want Mac Jones to be the quarterback week 1.
I'm with that.
I don't know. I think Cam.
So you want him to face Tom Brady in week 4? Because I've been hearing a lot of people want, Mac Jones to stay away from that game. They don't want to do that to this kid right out of the gate. They don't want to put him in that position and on that stage with Tom Brady.
It's not Mac Jones going up against Tom Brady on the field. You know what I'm saying? It's Mac Jones
defense
versus the Bucs. That's it. You know what I mean? And all right, so I'll give Ted another thing. If you watch that 49ers game from a year ago, guys, they didn't blitz Jimmy Garoppolo once. They did nothing. Like they just let them run all over them. They did nothing against Jimmy. It was like, oh, we're not going to throw anything at Jimmy. I'm telling you, they're going to throw something at Tom Brady. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, of course. Hell yeah. Hell, you're throwing the kitchen sink at him. Absolutely.
What do you have in that game, though?
All right, so the betting line's 3.5.
Okay.
So this is what I another way how I got on the radio, guys, was, I like to look at sports lines and bet.
Yeah. You're a betting guy.
But dude, nobody was doing that on the radio. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, maybe this is a way I can get on the air, and here you go. So that's another way I got on.
It's about finding your niche, right?
Niche. There you go, buddy. There you go. But yeah, so I like to look at the betting lines. The line's 3.5. I think Tampa Bay is probably 3 points better than the Patriots based off of last season.
Probably.
They have their whole team coming back. Patriots still. So I think Tom Brady. Guys, come on. Are we gonna bet against Tom Brady anymore?
I'm not.
Hell no. Right. I think we've all learned our lesson on that. Right.
Like Tom 3.5. Here's my $100. You know what I mean?
Yes, I'll book that any day of the week and twice on Sunday.
I'm not gonna say that the Bucks are gonna win the championship or anything like that. I think that's just way too early because anything can happen. Anybody can get injured. Yeah. But I know Tom Brady's gonna be on a mission. And I think he wants that undefeated season.
Boom.
I think he really wants that undefeated season.
There you go. Clip him. That was good stuff right there. Because what else has he got to play for?
Yeah, I think he really wants that.
Oh,
he said
that's the only thing he hasn't done.
What's that?
He said he traded 2 Super Bowls or 3 Super Bowls for that.
Yeah, he said 2 Super Bowls for the undefeated.
Ted Johnson said the same thing to me. He gave up 2 of his Super Bowls to get that undefeated.
Was he on that undefeated team, Ted Johnson?
No. So Ted played in so believe it or not, and I'm talking for Ted here, but he was drafted in '95. Ty Law was the first round pick. Ted Johnson was the second round. In the third round, Curtis Martin.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That's a hell of a draft right there.
Sandwiched between 2 Hall of Famers.
Right.
But yeah, Ted played in that 96 Super Bowl against Brett Favre. Remember the one where he took the
Yep.
That was Adam Vinatieri's first one. Here we go.
Rookie year, right? Wasn't that his first year in the league?
He tackled Herschel Walker.
Oh yes,
And,
yes, I remember that play.
And then, and then he also was the kicker for Desmond Howard. So I'm gonna leave that one out, but I brought that up to Ted. I brought that up to Ted, and he. Well, I guess the story was Troy Brown didn't play in the Super Bowl that year. He was one of the gunners, and they didn't play him, and that's how Howard scored because he went up that.
Oh, damn! Right where Troy Brown would have been.
Yeah. So. But yes. Yeah, he played up until 2004. But yeah, dude, think of the Patriots linebackers over the years. Like when I was a kid, Andre Tippett, he was kind of going out. But they had Vincent Brown, who was awesome. Then they started getting like Chris Slade, Willie McGinnis.
Yes, Big Willie.
Bob Collins was really good. Then they drafted Ted Johnson. They got Teddy Bruschi. After that, they got Roman Pfeiffer, Mike Vrabel.
Yep. Yes.
You know what I mean? Yep. And then keep going along. Gerard Ninkovich, Mayo, right? Dante Hightower. This is like linebacker you know what I'm saying?
For real.
I mean,
man.
Bill is great with the linebackers. With the defensive side, but with the linebackers, he's great with it.
Yep. So.
Oh, yeah.
All right, boys. Man. So what are you guys thinking for the NBA Finals? I'm going Nets, and I think the Nets beat the Bucks today too.
The Nets for sure. I really want LA, but I think it's gonna be the Suns.
Yeah. I think it's Nets Phoenix, man.
Oh, for me, I'll think it's Nets and Utah. Jazz.
I keep switching between the two, Utah or Phoenix, man.
Who do you guys think is better, Donovan Mitchell or Jason Tatum?
Oh, Donovan Mitchell. Right now, Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell should have won Rookie of the Year. Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, he got robbed that year.
It was Ben Simmons' first year.
It wasn't Ben Simmons' first year.
I know please don't give me that. Please. right. He got robbed, definitely.
No,
I agree with Vlad. Donovan Mitchell's a better player than Jason Tatum right now.
Donovan Mitchell's a superstar, man. Like bona fide.
Yeah, he's a two-way player. Right.
Well, he's not that great at defense, but I'll say this: if you really want to compare, those two were in the same draft.
Yep.
Tatum went what, 3?
3,
yeah. And he went 15,
Mitchell
right?
13.
13, yeah.
15 or 13, I forget, whatever.
I think it was 15.
One of those two.
But the real comparison is Jaylen Brown, Jamal Murray. Jaylen Brown went 3, Jamal Murray went 5.
Ooh.
Jamal Murray got more.
I wanted Jamal Murray.
Me too. Jamal Murray got a 5-year deal right now, making more than Brown.
Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, Brown's been 3 Eastern Conference Finals.
But
Jamal Murray's I think he's got like 3 50-point games though.
That does it.
And I think one of them was against the Celtics.
That's right. So that's what I mean. But who's a better? Two-way player. I think it's Jaylen Brown.
I like Jaylen though. I really like Jaylen.
But do you see what I mean? Like,
yeah.
The drafts, Mitchell. If you think Mitchell's better than Tatum, then you got to look at the other draft too, Brown and Murray, and there's too many Murrays in this town.
Okay,
Jim, there's too many.
Was it Kelly Olynyk drafted right before the Greek Freak?
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah. Let's not go there. Yeah. Let's not do that.
Yeah, we had a good time here with Joe Murray, man.
Yes, this was a blast, man. This is so much fun.
We'll do it again. We'll talk food next time and a little bit of news. I'll
yes, dude.
I'll ask you guys.
Yes.
You guys can talk to this, but next time I'm on. Think of this: what are the 3 best rap disses in history? We'll do that for next time.
All right, sounds
save that
good,
for the next podcast. Definitely, man.
I wrote it down, so I got it.
Your Vlad wants to go. Go ahead.
No, I said I wrote it down.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, save them.
Cool. Yeah, save for the next one. Yeah.
Maybe I'll see you boys at the Kowloon. You ever been up to the Kowloon up there?
Oh, I've been over there. Oh, yeah. I know you're the Kowloon ambassador.
Dude.
Or at least one of them.
I'm the kingpin. All right.
There you go. There you go. Isn't John Wallach and Ambassador another big Calhoun guy?
Oh,
too?
yeah, he is. Yep, Jay Stu, Sarge. Those are all my boys. You know, Sarge, dude, you guys would love Sarge, too. He's a character, and he's a fun dude. And we're all wrestling fans. I didn't even bring that up. But, dude, yeah, I think, what were you talking about? Oh, too much complacency we were talking about? Dude,
Yeah.
that's why I love That's why I love wrestling, because you could be the champ at WrestleMania, and then all of a sudden you could be cut 2 months later before SummerSlam. That's what's going on in the wrestling world right now, you know? I love wrestling, because it's like my own soap opera. You know what I mean? Like, you can't take it away from me. It's mine. It's going to be on every Monday, every Sunday. It's going to be on a pay-per-view. So, but I travel, man. I go to all the WrestleMania. It's fun, man.
That's awesome, man.
Sweet. Were you at the last one? And I think it was in Tampa. Were you at this one that just passed?
No, with COVID, they didn't let anybody. I couldn't get in, but we went to New York the year before that. New Orleans, man. We did New Orleans.
Oh, sweet, man.
Yeah, that next year is Dallas. So
you'll be there for that?
Oh, baby, I'm already ready.
Oh,
so
nice.
You're gonna be in Dallas?
Man. I love Dallas too. Dallas is a nice city.
Some good Dallas barbecue?
Dude, I love. So, all right, it's weird, right? You know what? Now we're talking barbecue. All right, so okay, so I live on the North Shore now, right?
Yeah.
So, like, you guys, like, for me, Hyde Park, the Tobin Bridge, it just had never existed. We don't cross that thing. You know what I mean? But now that I live north, man, like, I've opened my eyes to, like, other things. The North Shore's got some good barbecue, but, dude, the spot is on Morton Street. You ever been there? That little barbecue pit? Like,
Oh yeah.
It doesn't look like something you'd, like, drive up to
in
the car.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
But, dude, that place, they got good barbecue, man. That's, like, one of my favorite. Whenever I come back home sometimes, because I work in Dorchester, so I cut through.
Yeah.
I walk out, I'm like, yeah, whatever. It doesn't look like it, And then I walk in, I'm like, man, give me that barbecue, baby.
What's that place called? I don't think I've been over.
I think it's called
the Pit Stop. It's called the Pit Stop.
There you go.
I'll send it to you, Barry.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely send me that. So
like I said, you guys,
if
you guys go together, it's not going to be a place where you pull up and there's a parking spot. It's going to be like a garage, and like it's like Morton Street. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a little shack. It's a little shack.
Exactly. You know what I mean? But sometimes the little spots, they get the best stuff.
For sure.
Oh, yeah, facts. Definitely, man. No doubt.
So, all right, boys.
All right, thank you.
It was a pleasure, man. This was great. This was awesome. It was good meeting you, man. Thanks again for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thanks, John. I appreciate it, man.
No doubt. Peace out.
Hey, peace, Joe Murray. Good meeting you, man. Have a good one.
That was great.
Wow, that was awesome, man.
That was the best interview we've had.
Yeah, by far. I agree with that. That was a hell of an interview.
I knew it too because when it started, I was like, yo, I love listening to Joe because he talks about everything and anything. Like, he's just a fun dude. Right.
No, definitely. And that's why, like, I was like, this is a great person to bring on. And, and that's why I hit him up on, Twitter and, and wanted to bring him on because, I just love his, personality and his character, right? And knew that he'd be, a really good interview and, and have some good content for the show. And I'm glad definitely he delivered and, and did that for us. So,
great job, Barry.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Did you hear what he said?
What?
Ted Johnson will probably do a podcast if we reach out to him.
Yeah, that's the next step.